Mr. Come on, Houston.
All right, everybody, welcome. We are at the Den with Coach Seth Parr. Let's give it up for the coach. As always, we're going to start off with a massive, massive thank you to our good friends here at Roadhouse for all their hard work, accommodations, and goodness to us. The official food of the Coyotes, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%, man. Like, what better could you ask for than the awesome food to be able to come into Roadhouse, get some steak, some fried chicken, whatever it is that you're dining on.
Now you're talking.
I think I saw Steve Chambers back there with some fried chicken tonight.
I'm looking.
It looked really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a thumbs up from Steve.
I think he got worried that I was gonna ask him for a bite. but not only can you come get some food during the coaches show every single week, but home games open late till midnight on Friday nights. So I know, like, hey, we play Arizona Highlands on Friday. Why not stop by after the game?
This will be a place to be.
Yeah, it is. So listen, we are thankful to Texas Roadhouse for being the official restaurant of the Coyote Football Network, but they're not our only sponsor of the Coaches Show this year.
No, they're not. We're also going to give a big shout out and a thanks to Adon Complete Air Conditioning and Heating for all of their support and their love of the Coyote football program and this network for sure. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are and able to do what we get to do. So a big thanks to Adon. If you have any heating or air conditioning needs, they're a great place to stop by. Well run. Great owner. They'll do you right.
100%. Well, hey, off the top, we are joined by our athletic director and head coach. We already introduced him, Seth Parr. Let's kind of jump into it. Why don't we? Week 1 is in the books. We came away with a resilient win against really and truly a very good Liberty Christian squad. Right? What were some of your takeaways from that game, and what lessons did you learn about our team following Week 1?
You know, Week 1's always a big starting point because you don't know how the other opponent is going to play you. You just got a couple of scrimmage clips. You got film from last year. So it's kind of figuring it out on the field as you go. I thought our guys came out and were very energetic. They took control of the game early and played with a lot of energy. The crowd helped out with that. Thought the fans were amazing and thought they got into the game and were invested in it. And then we saw some resolve at the end where things weren't going our way. And we had to fight in order to keep things going and come out with the win, and they did a great job.
Well, Coach, there were some key moments in this game. Looking back for us, we saw a few pre-snap penalties this past week. What kind of impact does the crowd we were pretty raucous. I will say I thought the crowd was really involved. There was a lot of decibels getting pumped into that stadium from these guys. What kind of difference does that make when an opposing team comes in and has kind of some of those pressure check moments?
I thought it's very important because when you come in there and it's hard to communicate, you get all those pre-snap penalties. I think they got 3 or 4 in a row. And it feeds energy to us. So I would encourage. There's one 4th down that we have to stand up. We got to stand up. We can't just be loud. You got to blow horns. You got to get up. And we're going to work on that this week and get everybody to participate. Don't just sit there. Get up. You know, even everybody over 50 has to get up as well and be involved in it and be loud. Get that towel going and be engaged in it and help our athletes, help our Coyotes out on 3rd down.
Well, hey, let me have you do a little follow up to that one. Let's do a little when to make noise 101 class, because going back and watching the stream and some of the clips that we got and things like that, there were some times where there's quite a bit of noise when we were on offense too. So kind of break down, when do we need to get loud, when do we need to get proud, and when do we need to kind of relax and let the team go to work?
3rd down, you know, is always a big down. 3rd and 4th down, anytime the opponent has it, it's time to get as loud as we can possibly get. Anytime they cross the 20, 25-yard line, we need everybody up and being involved. Anytime we have a chance to score, you know, it really doesn't bother me on how loud we are or not. I mean, think we kind of operate. I think our team kind of feeds off the energy, but you're supposed to be quiet during those times that we have the ball in short yardage situations. That's what creates the advantage is we're quiet when we have to be, when we get to communicate, and when they have to communicate, we be extremely loud and obnoxious.
Well, that's one of the things I feel like our squad gets a benefit from, right, is they're used to playing in the fun zone. They're used to being in that kind of environment. And so when you go somewhere and they try to bring that heat and bring that noise, our guys are kind of used to that already.
Well, I want to give a shout-out to a lot of people. First of all, my daughter, Danica, she always tells me I need to give her a shout-out. So she came with me today. So really
shout out Danica.
Really happy.
Shout out Danica.
She doesn't look real happy. She don't look real happy that I called her out. And
do we quickly pan the camera over to
yeah,
Danica,
right.
side-eyeing us over the booth?
We really need to, because that's a strong side-eye game right there.
And then the production, just with all the people that are involved with the pregame and all that kind of stuff. We had, cheerleaders, we had band members, we had motorcycles, we had coyotes, we had all that stuff, and helped put that together with the A and getting all that set up. And then Pete Kane did the voiceover of announcing it. And then we had Lucas Reynolds, who is in charge of the video board. The video board we played the songs on third down to help out. We showed the images and everything out and tried to make it like a college atmosphere. That's where you get to see you, right? And so Lucas Reynolds did a really good job. Pete Kane was always on it. And then just there's tons of people involved from the Coyote Walk to the start of the game. And Ann told me I had a walkie-talkie. I felt really good. Caleb Contrell did a great job with that as well.
Oh.
And, so she didn't like me having the walkie-talkie. Yeah, the video board was down. We had to turn it up.
Coach, hang on, Coach.
Yeah.
I got to ask. So you are live producing all the elements of the game while you're trying to coach the game?
I had Coach Contrell with the deals, and I tell him the song needs to go now, and try to get that communicated. And I would have to tell Macy I need the towels moving. And we were producing the whole thing.
That's great.
But, you got to teach everybody what to do. And that video board was a very big part of it. Hey, I got a superintendent that's very involved in it as well. Wait till you see what he created for the Texas-Arizona matchup.
Ooh, nice.
He did a really good job. 1307 Productions did our call out or our intro stuff, and they did a great job with the intro theme. So there's not just it's not just playing a game. It's there's a lot of moving pieces with that.
So if you decide to have a second career late in life, maybe Hollywood's calling.
We forgot about the radio broadcast.
Be a producer.
We did a good job with the radio broadcast and producing that stuff, and
we'll only get better on that end.
I thought we did a great job. I think the equipment went bad, but sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to fumble. It's about recovering it and doing it again and see what we can do. But got a great partner with 95.7. We just got to be able to – is it 97.5?
97.5.
I'm sorry, 97.5. That's the dyslexia in me.
KLAKA.
They're going to do a great job of giving us great equipment, and we're going to work with it, and it's going to be a great partnership from here on out.
Well, hey, I'm getting some inside information from Mr. TOTR Track himself. Mr. Alonzo's in the YouTube chat saying that there were some Melissa Scouts at the game on Friday night, and they absolutely hated how loud our crowd was. So shout out to you guys for being loud, and the baseline has been set, and the expectations only get higher from here, right?
That's right.
As Peyton said last night on a certain Arizona broadcast you were on, the standard is the best.
That's right.
Right? And so the standard's getting raised this next week. The standard's the best.
What I would say is if you got tickets and you can't go to the game, make sure you hand those tickets to somebody that can go to the game.
Yes.
All right, and go ahead. I got like 4 or 5 tickets that I'm going to hand out to my lunch ladies who do a great job.
Okay.
But we'll have some more. And if I go on Facebook, say I got 2 tickets, all you got to do is just promise that you go to the game and sit down and not stand up. But just make sure you go to the game. So anybody that's not going to be there that bought season tickets, hand your tickets away. We don't need to see those purple seats being emptied, and give them to somebody. And there's 3 ways to watch our broadcast.
Go ahead.
3 ways, okay? You can pay $12 to buy a season ticket. It's $12 a season ticket. That is a purple seat, but that's for one game is $12, right? So $12. Let me finish on this. I promise you. I got a good point.
We'll bring Anna.
I got a point. She's trying to coach me up. She does this at home. Right? So there's $12 that you can buy a ticket. And if you go in there get a hot dog, it's probably going to be around $15, $25, $30 for a in-game experience.
Okay.
Get good Scott Root popcorn. It's great.
Scott Root popcorn, the best popcorn in the business.
That's right. And you can get a nachos, you can get a coffee, you can get whatever you want.
He's got that special butter.
That's right.
For that popcorn.
Oh, goodness.
You can listen to it.
Yeah.
With you play-by-play. 97.5.
There you go.
KLAK. K-Lake.
K-Lake.
7.5.
That is for free. So if you need something to listen to, if you don't want to buy this $12 ticket that we have from Huddle, you got a Huddle stream also you can buy for $12, and your whole family can watch it. We don't encourage that. We want you to come to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But you can buy a $12 ticket and probably fit 4 of you, 5 of you in the room together, and you can watch that game live. All right. Now, understand this is not going to be Fox. All right, and it's not going to be NBC produced.
Please don't expect me to be Tony Romo, y'all.
Right.
That ain't happening.
Tom Brady is not coming to do the game, and we don't have that many cameras. So just, if it goes out or it's a little bit, you don't like the sound of it, turn on that radio station and then just watch the video, make it work. But, we want everybody to be a Coyote. We don't want you to be upset, but we also want you to be at the game. So if you live in Anna and you can come to the game, come to the game. If you physically can't do it, then go ahead and buy that Huddle ticket. It's $12, and invite a lot of people in.
And then, hey, whether you come to the game or not, come to Texas Roadhouse afterwards and get you a steak after a home game.
Let's
you
go.
can come to Texas Roadhouse, buy a $12 Huddle ticket.
Watch it right there.
Watch it on the screen. It's pure heaven.
You'd be the hero of the bar.
That's right. Well, I don't know if there's a bar in heaven, but you can. That's what I call heaven. Right there. Watch Coyote win with a steak. Heaven.
We'll have that Bible study some other time, Coach.
There you go. Hey, for anybody that needs Vuvuzela horns, Shannon Kennedy, Mr. Michael Kennedy's mother's going to have some for sale in the parking lot. And then Kevin Toten, who can't come to these shows, apparently said he's going to bring the noise this week. Apparently he was quiet last week like a church mouse, and he learned his lesson. Coach
I heard that he had a motorcycle. I'm not sure. Is that confirmed?
Yes.
So I think he might be coming on the field. Hopefully he doesn't wreck it.
He was bragging. He was bragging to me on Sunday about it. So
we're going to let him rev his engine up, show everybody how to get loud. He's going to bring a Texas flag.
Yep.
We're going to have him rocking and rolling. Kevin's one of my favorite people. We're going to have a lot of motorcycles there ready to roll. This is not just, you can't just do it once. You threw a fastball on them. Now we're going to throw it like, a splitter.
Coach, you have your kids run drills. You don't ever run anything like the first time in the game. Are you really going to let Kevin Toten run the first time in a game?
Well, usually what we like to do is we like to meet about it, do a walkthrough,
okay,
and then go do the drill.
Okay.
And then we watch the drill and we do it. Kevin's going to have to figure it out.
He said 8 of us.
8 of us. 8 of them. A lot of Coyotes. And you know who told me I always thought, I don't want to do too much. Don't want too much. And then our superintendent was the one that said, hey, won't we get some more of these guys? So I don't know which one is more. If I thought I was maybe out there, but I think he's got me. So, but he likes the show. And then he said, how about a cowboy hat? for the opposing team, and I was all for it. So we'll get a cowboy hat, get a picture until I found out how many of these cowboy hats cost.
They're expensive, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to go get his credit card and get that cowboy hat that he wants.
Oh, you heard it. You heard it here, guys.
There you go.
We're excited to play. Let's show them how Texas football does it. But, it's not – I watch some other teams close to us, and they got a big place to play, almost like a cathedral.
A little 10,000 action almost, yeah.
But it's not as loud as fun.
No.
As the stadium.
We call some of those places the no fun zone.
Yeah, you can't bring anything, can't bring any juice.
Can't talk
Can't
while
bring
the play's
any
going
energy.
on. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You got to get baptized when you come to Anna in the culture and everything that you do. All right,
gosh.
so and then we
Nice.
got two guys that can do it for you if you need the
There
other
you go.
one.
Hey, real quick on a
Spontaneous.
note on
We'll
the
do it. Spontaneous baptism.
Hey, a note on the Huddle, real quick, and correct me if I'm wrong. You can pay $12 for a single game on Huddle, or you can pay $120 for the sports season, and that's for multiple sports. Yeah, so basketball, football. There you go.
Hey, you even got a thumbs up on our stream for that one.
I
Hey.
sometimes pay attention to what's
The
going
haters
on.
aren't out yet. We got thumbs up so far tonight. No haters.
And
No
it-
thumbs down. We got the
Or
thumbs
you can
up.
come to the game. You can watch the replay on Huddle afterwards while eating a steak here at Texas
That's right.
Roadhouse.
And let me tell you why we're doing it is because we have the production. It costs money to put the production on.
Yes.
But also the real thing is Huddle, we're getting storage. So on YouTube, you can only store so much. With Huddle, we're paying for the storage that they can watch this game for up to like 7 to 10 years, and it's basically iCloud that we have bought that helps that, and this just offsets a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now these guys can go back and you can watch the game for free afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just live that we want you to have to go and do that because we want you there at the game, but we want you to watch it. If it's too big of a burden, get a hold of me. I'm going to get you figured out. I'm going to get you to watch Anna Coyote football. I'll get that.
Always.
Get that for you.
Hey, like you said, at the very least, 97.5 K-Lake is free.
That's right.
It's free to turn that dial on and listen on there. Hey,
So-
let's change gears a little bit. Let's look forward to this Friday, right? We've got a high school coming out of Gilbert, Arizona, in Highlands High School, the Hawks, and so they're coming to town. I think they arrive tomorrow, if that's correct. They got based on the broadcast I watched last night, they got a walkthrough at the indoor tomorrow night.
Yes.
So are we lining the parking lot with vuvuzelas? I'm just messing with you, Coach Parr. I know you're going to be a good host. I'm not going to do that to you.
We're going to get these guys out, and we're going to let them. They asked, first of all, I think their staff and their coaching staff, top-notch people. They're very friendly. They asked, they said, we don't have a facility like this. Is it a chance that we can go in there and work out? So, I just think that's part of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good host while you can. And then they're going to do a walkthrough at Clemens Middle School. I think we got one of the best middle school facilities around. And then Ed is going to feed them barbecue. They asked if they can have Texas brisket.
Oh.
And so
okay.
we're going to get some brisket for
Nice.
them. And then, but the last team I treated this nice almost cost us a state championship now. And that was Wilmer Hutchins.
Yep.
Yeah, that didn't. I hope that don't go down again.
No.
Zai had, I think it was 3 for 11 for 52 yards that game against Wilmer Hutchins in the playoffs. Week 1, we won. We won a whopping. It was 3-0 and 2 minutes left to go in the game. I think C.J. Martinez might have been our leading receiver with the interception. So it was a rough one. So I hope we don't. We fed them, and, man, they felt the best they've ever felt. Gave them our locker room. We were really hospitable to them.
Of course.
All right,
Almost cost us a state championship.
So we run the stat show, and we got to make sure our stats are good. That'd be, I think it was C.J. Miller, right?
Yep.
C.J. Miller. Look, I don't want to run for this, Coach. Don't make me run. But we changed his last name there for a second. Went from Martinez and Miller. I think we got him back though, right? We're
Did
good
I
now.
call him C.J. Martinez?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. C.J. Miller.
Hey, that's why we're here for, Coach,
There you
to
go.
support
Thank
you.
Thank you.
That's what we're here for.
Well, hey, why don't give us a little bit of insight about what you've seen on film about this Arizona Highlands team. What should our fans expect out of them on Friday night?
They're really fast. They got speed. I think their relay team was like a 139. They got a 6'6" receiver that plays really well. They do a good job defensively of fitting everything. You know, sometimes I'll watch, and I'm not. I think some people are not taught real well, and this team I feel like has been coached really well. I think they know how to be successful. They're a team that wants to be here, wants to come.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had to pay a lot of money to get here, and so they've made some sacrifices with family situations. So they're just excited to be here. But our 3 rules when we play on Friday night, number 1 is be a team. Be the best team. Be a team. Be for each other. Number 2 is be the most energetic, most excited to play. Most excited to play. Anybody going to help me with number 3?
This table right here, what's number 3?
Be the best at what you do. So if you're the receiver, you're the kicker.
Yeah.
Be the kicker. Be the holder, be the holder. Be the punter, be the punter. I'm watching all these guys. But be the best and be the expert at what you do. That's Mike Leach's rules. And you saw Texas Tech and Wes Welker. Nobody wanted them. Was the best at his job. And they ended up being pretty good.
All right, Coach. Look, as we wrap up your section, we kind of get to the same place every week, and we're just going to let you have this moment. Are there any final thoughts for our fans ahead of week 2?
All right. Well, number 1, you can't be 2-0 unless you win this game. So we got to go out there and bring it and bring the juice and help them out and just show up. Number 1, you guys show up and be enthused and don't get tired of winning. All right, because there'll be a time. We got senior night too, so
That's
senior
right.
night, be there, be watching them, but don't get tired or don't expect that every time you come out you're going to win or every time it's going to be a certain way. Go in there expecting that this might be the last time you do this, and the last time, let's make it the best it's ever been, right? So let's make it exciting. Let's make it a party. Let's make it a community event. And I always say this is the biggest open house that a school's going to have. All right? Your biggest open house, the biggest thing we can do to open our community and open our deals up to our school is this football game. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to see everybody, elementaries, junior highs, high schools, principals of all ISD involvement. And let's put on a good show. Make sure when you come, understand there are guidelines that we do. Make sure that you're courteous, be energetic, and be respectful, be loud. But if you're not, we're not going to allow you to come back. So make sure you're doing that. You're going in there. You're into the game. You're into doing what we're doing. But we're here for the right reasons. We're here to root on the Anna Coyotes, and we're not here to do anything else. And just be respectful to everybody, and don't lean on that rail. All right, don't lean on that rail.
Hey, stay off Coach Parr's rail. You heard it here. Be loud, be proud, be respectful, be energetic in everything that you do on Friday night. Coach Parr, we can't wait to see our Anna Coyotes against the Arizona Highland Hawks on Friday evening. Thanks for joining us. We're going to run a quick ad from Adon Heating and Air, and then we're going to have Coach Rig up for our next segment. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back. We are joined with our offensive coordinator, Wilson Rigg. Let's give Coach Rigg a big, warm welcome. Texas Roadhouse sides, welcome. Let's go. Hey, Coach, just real quick, let's take a little pause to say a special thanks to all the servers in our section who are doing a bang-up job. They're killing it tonight. Always got to thank those that are working hard to make the night super special. Look, Coach, we are so glad you're with us. Excited. We got a win last week.
Yep.
A win's a win is what they say,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
No matter how close it is or not, it's still a win.
No doubt.
As we kind of looked at last week, offense seemed to have some steam.
Yep.
Was going, and then for whatever reason, we seemed to hit a few snags. I'm going to call it defense is why we maybe hit a few snags, right? How do you tackle connecting some of those things and maybe even some of the mental lapses that come along with that? So that we're sure we're firing on all cylinders as we meet the Highland Hawks.
Yeah, so big thing we had in the first half, we were really rolling along, doing a good – man, someone's having a good time over there.
Man. Sounds like maybe a birthday going on
know.
over there. I
There you
love
go.
it.
We need to recruit them for the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Need all the fans we can get. But big thing that happened, first half we had some great plays that happened, some momentum's really going, and then had some phenomenal plays by guys all over the field. Second half, it just seemed like all the perfect fit and the perfect movement that was going on kind of worked. But then in the second half, you'll go through those lulls. Man,
We got a birthday real quick. Let's participate in the birthday. Here we go. We ready?
There's no doubt. It's good.
Oh, we're all distracted.
I love it. Hey, this is part of being. We talked about it last week. This
There's
is
no
part of being
doubt.
live.
Got to be focused here.
Oh, happy birthday, Aurel.
Happy birthday.
Give a big yeehaw for the birthday.
But all that aside, really in the second half, had a couple mental laps, and that was kind of something we talked about the year before where we had the opportunity last year against Oakland to go up 3 scores, had a little bit of, first game miscommunication, I guess, some guys that are still learning some things and, threw an interception when we were supposed to be running one route, threw the other route, and then, that kind of happened. Well, this week, kind of had some situations where some guys made a lot of plays in the first half, and then in the second half, we had a mental lapse here or there, but some things that were very teachable moments, places where you could make a play or make a block or make a run, whatever it may be, hit the right hole, and cause that game to get broken open. Because any time that in the state of Texas you got a 14-point lead, a chance to go up by 21, you got to do it. You got to put someone away. In football, the games are just teams have too many opportunities to score. You've got to put them away when you get that opportunity. And when defense gets a stop, we're able to go up by 21. We didn't put it in there, and then had another chance to do it, didn't do it. But at the end of the day, thought our guys did a good job of, once we had some of those issues, had some of those, turbulence that happened, that we were able to finish it off, get the field goal, win the game, do the thing that we needed, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think that's all that matters. But it's one of those things where there's definitely things to clean up, which week one you should have always. Last year scored on all but one drive is not really what you draw up every year. So that's not going to happen every year. And when you go through a dry spell, we just got to know these are the things we got to fix. These are the things we got to switch and move on from there. So,
Well, I think for me, from my perspective up in the booth this past Friday night, as I was looking down at the sideline as kind of some of those stutters and misfires were happening, one of the things I saw was a bunch of senior leaders going around it and making sure that the team stayed up. That this wasn't hey, the world's not ending because we misfired on 1 or 2 drives or 1 or 2 plays. We've got another series, another chance, another go at it, and that's going to keep happening until there are zeros on the clock. And I loved it in the moments that mattered most. The offense ended getting us into a position for Dez to kick that game-winning field goal, right? And so that's one of the cool things I got to see looking down from the booth was just there was no quit, there was no give up, there was no woe is me. It was, all right, I messed up, we messed up, next play. Here we go, let's keep it going. So the other side of Friday night is that we had 4 of our 5 offensive linemen either starting their very first game in a Coyote uniform, very first varsity game ever, or playing a brand new position. right? So we talk about they're getting their first starts, they're in a new position. What were you pleased about with the unit on Friday night, and what improvements are you hoping to see moving into week 2 there?
So I think we cleaned up a lot of the operation stuff that we had the week before, which, like we talked about last week, that was something from a scrimmage. You want to get the kinks out and kind of be rolling, hitting on all cylinders when you get to week 1. And so I think we did a lot of that. I think the big thing that we were preaching this week, we didn't have kind of the physicality or the just nastiness that I like to have out of our offensive line. And so there were, some constructive criticisms that we had during the week to kind of get that going in the right direction. I just wanted those guys that, are new or in a different position to know what the expectation is out of them. Because even the guys that have been playing a lot, you have guys that have a lot of snaps, they may be in a new role where they're a leader, where they're having to kind of get the guys going at times, and where they've got to do that as well. So we've got to be more physical, fire off the ball with a little more nastiness and things. But overall, I felt good about week 1, but there were some things where I thought we could have got more push. I think when we're up by 14, we've got to be able to run the ball, got to be able to run the clock out, finish a game. And those are things that we've done the last 2 years that this week we didn't do necessarily, especially not in the way we wanted to do it. So that's kind of something that we made sure that they got that across this week.
Let me ask you, did you show them the famous Greg Popovich clip? I love me some nasty.
No, I think I reenacted it pretty well.
Okay, there you go. I may or may not have a coaster in my house that has Greg Popovich with that line on there. I love me some nasty.
Yep.
Right, getting down and dirty is important. That's part of game of football.
Got to have it.
So, Coach, I had a moment in this last game that I saw that I kind of just took note of. Cormon Houston makes a catch, and he's kind of coming across the field, right? And, I felt like he got hit 7 times and just kept running because there's no whistle.
He did, yeah.
And he just kept going.
Yeah.
That was a moment for me as a fan. And what are those kind of moments? Like play to the whistle, right? Like you play till the play is done.
Yeah.
And I felt like he embodied that moment. What goes through your mind when you see a kid kind of hit that gear?
Yeah, so first off, for a freshman just to do some of the things he does, it's a big deal. But it's one of those things where that's something that's just kind of instilled in you from a young age that you learn how to do, and playing through the whistle is one of those. It's something that we can help out with, we can push you to do, but till you hear that whistle, we're playing. And that was something that was really, really cool, I thought, was that you'll see during the play that he's, just running through guys. People think he's tackled. He kept going. He was going to force the official to make them tell him he's down, make sure a knee's down. But until that happened, no one blows a whistle. Let's keep on playing. I think that was it kind of reminded me a lot. There was a game a few years ago, Auburn played in the national title, where their running back, everyone thought got tackled, lands on a defender, and then no whistle gets blown, takes off and runs. They won a national title because of that. But it's one of those things where till that whistle blows, till we're done, we've got to play through the whistle, and that is something, going along with the O-line earlier, that's something that we have to make sure we instill that in our guys and make sure our guys are playing to that standard.
That might have been my favorite play of the whole game. Yep. There were a lot of highlight moments, of course, when Dez making the kick.
Yep.
But watching Cormond as a freshman do what he did and just not stop and just grind and grind was a really fun play. So a lot of fun there.
Yep. I think my favorite might have been Rowan Nylander's shadow holding penalty, where he got speared and got a holding penalty.
I've never
for
seen
getting
someone
speared.
get their face ran over and they're the one that gets the holding penalty. But
no shade there at all. I'm not throwing any shade.
He took the charge.
For real. Well, hey, Coach Rick, thank you so much for taking just a couple of minutes to join us on the show, and we look forward to the offense getting back to some high-flying action on Friday night against the Hawks.
Sir.
We're going to take a quick ad break to hear from Pin Oaks, and then we got Coach Rodriguez next.
All right.
All right, we are back live on YouTube and here in person at Texas Roadhouse. Hey, if you finish your meal, order a dessert, order another drink. We still got a couple more segments to go. Let's keep enjoying our time together. But we're joined by Coach Rodriguez, our special team. We're joined by Coach Rodriguez. There we go.
There we go.
That's better. I thought you were going to bust out your whistle and be like, all right, let's go again. I gave you guys a 5-yard head start, and you didn't even sprint off the ball.
Yeah, you were a witness to
Oh,
that
yeah,
today.
we were there.
Hey, listen, our special teams coordinator, wide receivers coach. Hey, listen, Coach Rod, we were sitting here talking during the break, and listen, Phil and I are not above correction either, right?
True.
The players get corrected, they get taught, they learn lessons.
Yep.
We forgot an important sticker that we should have handed out on the stat show. And Coach Rod, you reminded us of that. Do you want to be the one to hand it out live right here, right now?
Yeah, Mr. Cormon Houston making that big play that we just talked about with Coach Rigg, is something special. And again, just to be able to do something like that as a freshman and show the fight and the grit in that play, and it's a critical time, right? I mean, we're in a situation where we hit that slump and we're needing some type of spark. Right, and for him to be able to do that in that moment and to continue to extend the drive and to keep us going and to be able to get some points to end up winning the game is big. And for him to be able to do that is awesome. And that's worthy of a sticker.
Hey, we're gonna call it the fight through the whistle.
Yeah, fight through the whistle.
Through the whistle. So come on, you got an extra sticker coming to you for your helmet this week, brother. We got you, big man. Hey, let's talk about special teams. Obviously played a really key role in this game. Not just were the extra points for 4 for 4, which gave us the opportunity to be in the game. Right. Awesome kickoff moments. But then we have that go-ahead field goal with just over 2 minutes left. It was like 2:02 or something on the clock, right? Somewhere in that range. Is there any kind of pep talk that you give to your unit before a moment like that, or is it just telling them to trust their training? What is the process as we get ready for a go-ahead field goal?
Yeah, just in those situations, kind of just throughout the summer, or when me and Dez are out there on the field kicking, we're down 2 right here. There's 3 seconds left. We gotta be able to hit this one and win the game, and kind of add that mental aspect to it. And on how much we work, it's just another routine kick for us. And I really do believe, when you put in that much work and when you invest a whole lot in it, it's just another kick. And that's how a lot of our kids are. They have that confidence and they have that awareness, and they know what's going on. Where they put into those situations, they're able to execute that situation and get what we need. And, that's a big-time kick for him. But I thought we did a good job of playing complementary football this past game. When we needed a score on offense, we did. When defense needed to get a stop, they did their thing. And when special teams needed to come out and, do what they needed to do, we did that. And to be able to do that in the first game of the season says a lot about our team. And to be able to do that against a great team is awesome.
So you're saying we had a we fence on Friday night?
Yeah, we fence, all caps, yeah.
Hey, look, looking back on the week, Blake and I spent a lot of time talking about in the preseason show, right? Just talking about our receivers. We graduated a lot of guys, so a lot of guys are having to step up and take ownership. Yeah. And there were some good plays from the receiving core last week.
Yes.
But there was also a lot left on the field.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. What do you do in those moments? What does a coach do with a player when there were some obvious moments that were like, that's one you're going to think about?
I just think the biggest thing is first off, just embracing those moments where, you could grow, and owning up to it as a player is big. And our guys do that. And that's a quality that you need to be able to have as a player if you want to continue to grow, right? And with them having that trait and with them, being able to own up to it and know, then, there's not a whole lot that, we really got to it's just pitch and catch, right? And we do that on a daily basis every day. Mon makes those type of contested catches, on a daily basis, and it's something that, hey, we don't gotta, freak out on or anything like that. We just, hey, when that opportunity comes, we know that we need to make the most out of it, and those are the catches that we do have to make. We talk about, putting them, putting the game away, right? And a lot of those plays were those type of plays where, hey, if we catch this ball, right, and we make this big play, then, yeah, those are the plays that could end up, putting the nails in the coffin.
100%. Hey, let me ask you a different question, kind of change gears. Still talking about your receiving core, but we've got a big weapon in Michael Kennedy that hasn't been able to suit up yet. He's fighting back from an injury, right? What kind of leader has he been on the sideline in helping mentor some of these younger receivers from Cormon to Merritt to some of these other guys that are lining up on the offensive the ball to Keyshawn moving in?
Oh man, hey, I can't. I'm gonna be up here for a while because Michael Kennedy has handled this injury better than from what I've seen, and better than what a lot of young athletes on how they deal with their injuries. Man, he's been another coach for us. We've been calling him Coach Kennedy, but he's been awesome to Cormon. He's been awesome to Carter Merritt. He's been awesome to our new receiver Keyshawn, and he is he's coaching them up. We're going through a practice segment. He's over there in the indoor, taking them through endo, giving them one-on-one training.
He's here, and he's over there saying, "When do I get my money? When do I get paid?"
When you go through the interview process.
When those he'll get paid when those games continue to turn into wins,
there
right?
You go. So, and he gets a degree.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, but man, he's been great to have. A lot of times, young athletes, when they have an injury, they don't deal those injuries very well. They stop showing up. They feel like they don't need to be as involved or be there at practice. They kind of just wander off and drift off. But he's been very involved. He's been a big leader for not only the offense but for the entire team. Again, he's been awesome in getting the younger guys ready. And it's good to have him in those guys' ears, because I feel like, the other guys kind of get tired of me. And when I see Coach Kennedy over there, addressing them and getting onto those guys for the same things that I've been telling them, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll listen and they won't get as irritable with me. So it's been good to have him there.
Well, I think one of the things that says about the fact that he's able to step in as a coach from the player aspect is that tells me that he's also someone who does his business.
Yes.
Like, people aren't going to listen to you if you don't walk the walk and that you're trying to talk, right?
Right.
And so, like, Michael did that. At practice today, right? Keyshawn's lined up and there's a play call and he fires off and I think it ended up being a run play and Kennedy looks over and goes, "Hey, Key, if they don't give you a route, just block. If they don't tell you anything, just block. Just go engage that." And it's just those little things. And so that Michael is going to be that person that's willing to do that, right?
No, right, yeah. He has that credibility just because of, the type of player he is and the type of person he is. He's an awesome person as well. And believe me, he's been great at what he's been doing, but I don't want that to be permanent for him. I don't want him to think that he's going to be a full-time coach.
No, we want him on the field.
As soon as we get that green light that he's ready to go, we're going to be fired up because he's going to bring so much to our offense.
100%. Well, hey, Coach Rodriguez, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick ad break and hear from Adon again on our YouTube stream as we get ready to bring up Coach Severe, who tried to wander off and hide so he couldn't get on the show.
Let's thank Coach Rod one more time.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Y'all going to go on my whistle?
All right, well, we are back for our final segment of the evening with our final coach, our defensive coordinator, Coach Robbie Severe. We're back for the final segment of the evening with our defensive coordinator, Coach Robbie Severe.
Oh, wow. Y'all are sleeping.
Appreciate you, Coach Rob.
The standard is the standard. Let's go.
Best is the standard. Get loud, get proud. Hey, real quick, guys, let's hear it for Coach Severe. I knew we would get there. Sometimes it just takes a few reps so that we're ready to go on game day, right?
That's right.
Hey, listen, I think overall, Coach Severe, we walked away pretty impressed with our defense from this past week, from the growth they've had from last season. Listen, you held a team that has averaged over 50 points per game the last 2 seasons to 28 points. What were some of the keys and major adjustments that you guys made during the game to help our defense be successful and make big stops in key moments?
I think the biggest thing was they do so much pre-snap movement, and one of the biggest goals for us was to handle the communication part of that. And I thought we did a really good job of that. We handled the communication for the most part. We didn't have any guys running wide open. We communicated well. And I said the biggest thing is, can we run to the ball? And I thought we ran to the ball well. We played physical football, and those are the things that really carried us. Even when we made some mistakes, our effort and our toughness, I thought, kind of carried the way.
There was very much at times in that game a bend but don't break mentality, right? Where Liberty Christian would start a drive and it would end up stalling out as you guys kind of got tighter and tighter as they got towards the 40, 30, 20-yard line into the red zone. What is the mindset and the mentality that allows the defense to not get down on themselves when maybe a big play happens and say, hey, we've still got a chance to stop them?
I think it's that next play mentality. I mean, we have it at practice too. We go against our offense a lot. And sometimes you win plays, sometimes you lose plays. But win or lose, it's always about the next play. So if we can have that next play mentality and come back, whether it's a positive or a negative, with the same focus, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. And I thought our guys did that, even in the fourth quarter when there was a couple bad drives in a row and things felt like, man, we really need to make something happen. They didn't press, but they really stayed focused, and then we made a key stop and at the right time, and that was really big. But our kids do a good job of just kind of focusing at the task at hand and not getting too up or too down on that.
Well, we had some guys that are working back from injury, and we saw some guys go down with some fresh injuries this last week. When you're kind of looking ahead, what are some of the things that you want to see in terms of this squad, this side of the ball, do for taking a step forward? How do you see this group going from this last week into this week? Where do they need to improve?
I think I said on the show last week, and I told our players, I said, I feel really good about a lot of us. I feel really good about 18 to 20 of our guys. And so we have that next play mentality and that next man mentality. You get your name called, you get to go in, and you're expected to do the job. Yeah. And there's no expectations that we're not going to lower it for you. This is what the job entails, and we want you to do your job. And our kids have risen to the occasion. We've played a lot of guys last year, and because of that, there's a lot of experience out there. So, that's a key thing to have. I think as far as injuries go, there's nothing that's too crazy that we're going to miss guys for too long. But whoever's out there on the field, the expectation is they go hard and play physical and fast and have fun.
This phrase kept coming to my mind tonight, and that is the standard demands responsibility.
Yeah.
It demands responsibility. So if you screw up, the responsible thing to do is to say, I screwed up.
Yeah.
I messed up. I see this from this squad. What are some ways you're seeing these guys embrace that mentality of being responsible for what's in front of them and not responsible for what somebody else ought to be doing per se?
We do a keys to victory every week, at least on offense, defense, and then the whole team. And the last 2 weeks, it's been very similar on defense. And the number one job on there is do your job. The number one key to victory is do your job. If your job is to cover somebody, it's to cover somebody. If your job is to take on a block, it's to take on a block. We had, I think last year, part of our issues where we had a lot of guys trying to make the tackle. And we really talked about this offseason and highlighted people who know football understand when you make the play, it's not always making the tackle, but you take up the block that absorbs the guy, where they want to run, that has the bounce, and then the guy makes the tackle. Everyone sees the name on the tackle, but the guys who know football see the play that you made to make the tackle. And we highlighted, hey, we got to make plays. Not make tackles necessarily, but we got to make plays. And I think our guys have bought into that and are sacrificing for the team a little more and doing their job and being responsible for that.
Well, hey, spend some time being a game film breakdown person for us here as we get ready to close the show, right? I've pulled up some tape of Highlands. I've watched some of their offense, and I know what I see going, but I also know you see a little bit more in depth. So kind of break down, what is it that we can expect to see from their offense on Friday night? You don't have to give us the game plan of how you plan to stop it, but what is it that they like to do on offense?
They're very multiple. They have multiple personnels, which means they change. Sometimes they'll be with 4 receivers. Sometimes they'll be with 2 tight ends. Sometimes they're very multiple. They change formations. They change personnel groupings. They motion. They shift. You see kind of a NFL college style offense in a lot of ways, the way they try to run their stuff. And when you pop on their film, I told our guys they have a lot of schemed up home run plays. Mm-hmm. And we got to be really dialed in as far as our communication, because they'll shift and motion and move guys and try to get you one guy to miss an assignment, and all of a sudden they have a guy running clean up the field. And they try to scheme that stuff up, and they do a good job. Obviously, they have a good staff, and obviously they have really smart kids to be able to do as much as they do. And you just got to be prepared for it. So they're going to give us multiple looks. They're going to give us shifts and motions, which stress you as a defense. They have 2 quarterbacks that played last week. One was more of a thrower, a little bit more pocket guy, and one guy was really good running the ball. So we're going to see you're going to see a very pro style offense, to be honest. And so it's going to be fun. I think it's similar in some ways to what we saw last week, which is good, because we kind of got a lot of that communication part down, not down, but we got a lot of that last week. So we'll get to build on that.
Well, there you go. Phil, any other questions for Coach Severe before we let him go tonight?
Look, we're so excited for you, Coach, to see where we are this year and to see the steps that this team has taken to move forward. It's a different start to the year. It just feels different, and you've got to feel a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I went back today and I actually looked at what films that we shared with them, because we looked at obviously the films they shared with us. But I said, I want to go back and look at what films that we shared they asked for and go back and watch those. So I went back and watched the games that we shared to see, okay, what are they seeing in our defense that from last year they might try to attack that maybe they don't already do, right? And so I kind of was doing that today, and I'm like, man, it is a whole lot different. Mm-hmm. Just seeing the improvement, how much bigger a lot of our guys are, how much stronger, but just really how much more – we're a lot more sound. Our guys are just know what their job entails. And, last year I felt like a lot of times we were trying to stop every play because you had to call the perfect play almost. And this year we're doing a lot more just, hey, let's line up and just play. We feel good about who we are. Let's line up. Let's do what we do, and we'll make it work.
Do your job.
Now I'm interested. Are we allowed to know what films got shared with them? Or are you guys going to keep that in-house?
No,
if you're going to keep it in-house, that's okay.
Avalon. Yeah, we traded already. No, it was okay. Abilene, Wiley, Lovejoy, the playoff game. Abilene, Wiley, the playoff game. Colleyville, Heritage, and I think Liberty was our last game. The last 4 games.
Okay. Well, awesome. Listen, Coach Shavir, we look forward to watching your defense continue to roll on Friday night and watching them continue to grow as a unit. And we can't wait to see all of these young men out on the field against the Highland Hawks. And Kyle fans, be ready to come loud, be proud, be respectful, be energetic. Those are my final thoughts.
That's it, man. We're going to go out the same way as we always do.
Yep. Coach Shavir, you want to bring us out? So Kyle, it's on 3?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Go Coyotes!